Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I am Seraphin, and here we are again with Fire Emblem Blazing Sword, and we're moving on to Chapter 6, Blood of Pride. And finally, we've made it to Lycia. Specifically, Arifin. And here we are, the game explaining stuff that I've already told you. Lycia is a federation of territories, each ruled by a powerful marquis. Kalen isn't that much further away, it looks like. And here we go. Another interesting sprite, we get to find out what that is. And here we get this quaint little village town, it looks like. Or city, for that matter. Second biggest after Ostia. Yeah, kind of. No, jerkwads. This is pretty cool. Boom! And you're wondering, who the heck is that guy? Where did he come from? That would be a dude on a horse with a bow. And Lynn looks very startled. Okay, I guess they do dress kind of differently. Well, you were right about that. You're probably wondering, what in the heck is another Cicaean person doing in this city? Yes, this gentleman is the captain of the Arifin Castle Guard. Wrath of the Kutola tribe. It's a lot of curses. And here we get this gentleman. It's a great plan. Let a stranger into your house and then hide below. Especially funny once you consider who that guy is. Three triggers to open the secret passage. We need to open doors. Perhaps some of these marauders are carrying keys. Well, they might be. Let's take a stab and check out. Nope, that one's not. That one's not either. And that one's not either. And those are the only guys we can see. So none of them are carrying keys. How, pray tell, will we get into this building then? Well, you'll see these doors here are locked. Let's have Lynn check out this house with the red roof on it. And meet that dude. His name is Matthew. He belongs to Acquisitions Incorporated. I mean, he's a specialist of acquisitions. Matthew is a thief. A very clever thief. Here's the funny thing. We have to hire Matthew to open doors and stuff for us, but we don't actually have to pay him. Your group looked more fun than the dead guy. He is incredibly odd. But I like Matthew. He's cool. Now we have Matthew, the thief. You will see Matthew has a sword, and he also has this fun little lockpick. This allows him to open doors and treasure chests, but only he can use it. That being said, thieves are not particularly physically inclined. You'll see he is stupidly fast, however. Matthew is tied for the highest speed growth in the game, too. So that stat of 11 is going to go up practically every turn. His con's pretty respectable, but his strength and skill are not, and neither are either of his defenses. So unfortunately, he does require a lot of babying to be useful in battle. And then, oh yeah, we also have Wrath down here. Wrath is already level 7, so he's already my highest level guy. And he's a nomad. He's a mounted archer. He comes equipped with this short bow. The short bow requires level D to use, so it's a little more difficult to use than a typical iron bow. It's also about the same strength, but you'll notice it has that innate critical percentage of 10%. So it crits a little more often. It does have an unusual number of uses, though, at 22. And the hit rate's also pretty solid on this thing. Rat's stats are pretty impressive. He's got quite a bit of strength, skill, and speed starting out, although he is already level 7. His defense is okay at 7, but his resistance is terrible, and unfortunately it's not likely to get any better. Wrath does not have spectacular resistance growth, and you'll see he's already participated in and won one battle, even though he technically didn't. It was part of a cutscene, but that's okay. So now that we have Matthew, we can open these doors with that lockpick of his. And you'll see this little blue square here is one of the triggers that we're looking for, that we need to open that passage. And we'll just have Wrath park himself right on top of that. And open up that middle area. And inside we have this wonderful looking treasure chest. As well as another guard here. Now this guard, oh here we go. This guard is carrying a key. And you'll see that the key is glowing green. That glowing green indicates that he is going to drop that upon death. So once we kill this guy, he will give the key to whoever kills him. And we can then use said key to open the door that he's right in front of, rather than wasting our lockpicks with Matthew, because he's only got, I believe, 15 uses. Yep. And then we have the rest of these chumps down here to deal with. I'm going to show you something else that I use quite frequently when I decide who needs experience. We're going to use the unit menu. This gives us a rundown of all of our characters, and we're going to sort them by level. And that will show us who our strongest people are, and down at the bottom our weakest. Sarah's our weakest, but there's not much we can do to help her level up in combat. Urk needs a good more attention. Dorcas, unfortunately, we're not going to be making a whole lot of use of, so we don't care as much. And then the next after that is Will and Florina. So we're going to see if Urk can take out either of these guys by himself, which he can't. So we'll have Florina give him a little help. In fact, we're going to have Florina poke this guy from a distance with a javelin. It's so useful. And then Urk can walk right up to him and finish him off. That gives both of them some experience. Urk a little more so because he gets the kill. And then we can deal with this chump down here. I'll let Sane punch at him a bit. I need him to use his sword more. He needs some sword experience. He's going to level that up later, so... If I had used a lance, I'd take only 1 damage from him instead of 2, but that's okay. It's not that big a deal. And then Will can finish him off. And now we have our remaining people to look around and go open villages. So we're going to have Dorcas visit this village. Imagine that. Again, it's like I explained all this to you guys already. Wonder if I should just stop going to those places. And then we're going to have Kent come down here and check out this place. You'd be correct. Oh yeah, apparently the Marquis of Arafin is a bigot and does not like the Sakaean Plains people. Aristocrats, just like modern politicians. And then we'll have Sarah check out the Red Roofed village, since she doesn't have anybody to heal right now. Something. Wow, there's a typo. Something. Not something. Huh. That part never made any sense to me. Like, as soon as you put the key in the door, it just disappears. It just turns into dust or something. Who knows? But in case we didn't have Matthew for whatever reason, we do get a free door key here. And that would allow us to open either that one that we opened with Matthew or this one down here. However, we're going to have Matthew crack open this treasure chest and get an angelic robe. Now, here's something else I need to explain. This is an example of a stat boosting item. You get very few of these in the game, but they're very, very useful. So, this is a one-use angelic robe. It increases the HP of whoever uses it by 7 permanently. And that's incredibly useful for people who are very frail, like, for example, clerics with their pathetic HP. Lynn usually is a good candidate for it too, because she's level 5 and only has 19 HP. She tends to get in fights quite a bit. I generally will give it to her, but it depends on the situation if somebody else needs it more. For now, we're going to hold off and wait to use it until I've got a better idea of who's going to need it. And we'll have Wrath come in here to back up Matthew. And Urk should be able to take down this soldier over here. These soldiers, these infantry spearmen, they are an example of kind of an anomaly in this game. You see a lot of these soldiers, they are abysmal, as you can see, in every way. Just absolutely terrible. And this is the only class of unit in the game that you, as the player, never get access to. You never get a character that is the soldier class. And they don't promote into anything either. Which is probably okay, because, again, they're terrible. Later on, in some of the later installments of Fire Emblem, for example, in Path of Radiance, you do get a soldier. You get Nephany as a soldier in Path of Radiance, and she's incredible. So she definitely breaks the archetype. And then in Radiant Dawn, you see a lot more enemy soldiers, but they're actually quite impressive. Holy crap, that's a great level up, Art. Good job. In the later games, soldiers are very impressive, but as for the moment, they are just the worst. So, that being said, we didn't get another door key, so we're going to have Sarah come this way and drop hers off with Florina. So Florina can drop over here and open that door next turn. She can't quite do it this turn, but that's okay. I'll have Sane go with them too. We're going to send Will up here, and Kent back up here as well. Okay, so now we're going to open this door with Florina. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have Sane open it. Take that key from her, and then use it. So now we got to take care of this dude, which again, Urk should be able to do handily. And that will leave Florina available to step on the trigger. Alright, now we have exposed the boss here. There's one more trigger to go, yes, I understand. The boss is a knight. This is the first example we've seen of an armored unit. Knights have incredibly high defense, as you can see here. However, they have abysmal speed. And usually also abysmal resistance, meaning they're very vulnerable to magic, which is great because good luck hurting them with anything else. We will find a number of these guys throughout the game. They are incredibly tough, unless you have magic, then they're not quite so bad. They generally also have very high constitution as well. This guy is 13. They're also quite strong. So they're like the epitome of physical beat stick. But again, all the armor weighs them down quite a bit. And this guy has a steel lance, which is very, very dangerous for anybody that's not an axe user. So we're going to have to deal with him by the means of magic. And then he's also got another archer friend backing him up, which I think we can reliably take out. No, not quite with Matthew, but I think Wrath can outright kill him. We don't want that. We want to save our experience points. So we're going to have Will step up a little bit here. We're going to move Matthew way the heck over here so he's out of that archer's range. And we will let Will take out that enemy archer when he shoots at him. And we'll park Lynn right out here. Kent outside of that range for backup. And we'll have Dorcas come visit this top village because we haven't done that one yet. Well. Well, that would be true. Textbook bigotry, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, Will's not going to double that guy, but he can kill him in one more hit, so that's just fine. So we're going to let him do just that. Now we need to get Urk near to that boss so that Urk can take him out. Urk can move that far. And then Florina can walk by and pick him up. And she moves faster than him, so she'll really get there quicker. Anybody in need of healing? You know, give Sane a couple of points just for the experience bump. You can probably heal Will, too. Yep, sure can. We'll leave Kent outside of here. We don't need to worry about Wrath. He's over-leveled as it is, so we're just going to kind of leave him alone. I don't want him stealing experience from weaker people. And Matthew isn't quite tough enough to deal with this guy on his own, and he's got a weapon triangle disadvantage, so we don't want to let him do that. That being said, there's something else I can do. You'll notice that Matthew, because he's a thief, has the steal option. Now, this wouldn't be a problem because this door key is going to drop off this guy when I kill him anyway, but if that door key were not green, it would mean that he would not drop it on death, but I could still steal it using a thief. And you'll see a lot of examples of that later on where enemies have items that they will not necessarily drop, but that can be stolen. And thieves can steal anything that isn't a weapon. You'll notice the Iron Lance is gray. They can't steal that. But they can steal regular items. They can steal like useful items like keys. They can steal stat boosting items. They can steal promotion items. They can steal all sorts of stuff. And the only requirement is that they have a spot available in their inventory and that they be faster than their target, which Matthew almost always will be. Alright, we're going to drop Urk off here so that he can get to the boss next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, just in time. And we'll have Will pick off this soldier here. He's blocking the door. And now he has a door key. Rather than using Matthew's lockpick, let me show you this little chain technique here. Just trade it from one guy to the next in line there, and then you can open it right from where he's standing. And there's another treasure chest for Matthew to go open. Sadly, we don't have any chest keys. Door keys and chest keys do not work the same. They are for their own intended purpose here. And we get an Armor Slayer. This is a special kind of sword. Again, the description is misleading and inaccurate. It is not effective against infantry. It is effective against armored units. And it doubles the might in process. So we got a weapon specifically meant to deal with this guy. And there's actually no way to tell on the status screen that he is considered an armored unit. It's just kind of common sense, I guess. But there are only 2 units in the game that are considered armored, and that is this guy, the Knight, and the promotion of the Knight, which is called the General. And we will see more of those, a lot more of those later on. And they are mean. They are quite mean. So next turn, Urch will take down this boss, and that will be the end of the chapter. Now you'll notice also about that Armor Slayer that it requires a bit more skill to use. It's a sword rank required D. And it also weighs quite a bit. You would think a weapon designed to pierce armor would be something akin to like a rapier, thin and nimble, designed to get through armored plates, but it is not. It is a very large chopping sword for some stupid reason, but what do I know? Anyway, we'll have Urk move up here and hit this guy with fire magic. And he's incapable of countering because he does not have a javelin. He just has a steel lance. And again, he will not move because bosses generally don't. He's also guarding that last trigger, so we actually need to kill him to open the passageway and end the chapter. Now the question is, do I let Urk kill that guy next turn, or do I let Will do it right now? You know, we're going to let Will do it right now. Just enough damage to take this guy down. And Will go to level 5, I believe. He got some speed. Nice. That's all he got, but... and HP, I guess. And then we're just going to park Wrath on top of... you know, we'll have Lynn do it. We'll have Lynn park right on top of this. And end the chapter. The Hidden Passageway. Why are we letting Wrath take over? Why can't I go in and kill these people? And look at this snobby jerkwad. Oh, you done messed up. Good for you, Lynn. Uh-oh. Man, he just does not get it. And just like that, Wrath quits his job. They will never break us. Oh yeah, not only did he quit his job, but he took out his life savings and now he's giving it to us. And we get 5,000 gold. Again, sounds like a lot. It's really not. But it's a nice chunk of change for right now. So that ends Chapter 6, and we're going to take a pause right here. But I thank you again for joining me on our adventure, and I will see you next time. Have a good night, everybody. I have been Seraphin. Good evening.